All right, let's talk iPhone. It's that time of year again when the rumor mill just goes into overdrive, and this time it's all about the iPhone 17. But here's the thing. Everything we're seeing suggests this isn't just another small yearly update. It looks like Apple is making some really big, strategic choices that are going to shake up the entire lineup. So let's get into it.
So what's the deal here? Are we just getting a slightly faster chip and a new color? Or is Apple actually rethinking its whole strategy? All the leaks are pointing to a new lineup that gives you more distinct and maybe more difficult choices than ever before. It really forces you to ask, what do I actually want from my phone? So here's the game plan. We're going to break it all down into 5 key parts. First, the radical new design. Then, we'll look under the hood at the new chips. After that, we'll dive into the big gamble Apple's taking with the new Air model. Then, a massive camera upgrade that affects everyone. And finally, the big one, what's all this going to cost? Okay, let's start with the first thing you'll notice, the look and feel. After years of that same square camera bump, it sounds like Apple is gearing up for its biggest redesign since, wow, maybe the iPhone X. For the Pro models, that square camera bump we all know, yeah, where it is, it's gone, replaced by the sleek, full-width horizontal camera bar. This isn't just a tiny change, it's a complete redesign of the back of the phone. It makes it look way more clean and unified.
And get this, the other big design story is what it's made of. The Pro models might actually switch back from titanium to aluminum. Now, why would they do that? Well, it could make the phones a little lighter, and even more exciting, it could open the door for some much cooler, more vibrant colors. Leakers are talking about a bold new orange and a deep dark blue. All right, so that's the outside. Let's talk about what's going on under the hood. Apple's going to stick with its 2-tier chip strategy, but it looks like there's a really interesting twist this year. So you'll have the A19 chip in the standard iPhone 17, and then the more powerful A19 Pro with an extra graphics core in the Pro and the new Air model. But here's the kicker. The real story isn't about raw speed. A lot of the chatter suggests Apple is focusing more on power efficiency this time around, trying to squeeze out more battery life instead of just chasing the highest benchmark scores. And it's not just the main chip. The Pro and Air models are rumored to get a big jump to 12 gigs of RAM, which is huge for multitasking and all the AI features coming down the line. There's also talk of a new vapor chamber to keep the phone cool when you're really pushing it. And finally, it looks like that super smooth 120Hz ProMotion display might be coming to every single model. About time. Okay, now for the biggest curveball in this whole story, and honestly, the most fascinating part. The brand new iPhone 17 Air. And let me tell you, this isn't just a new name for the old Plus model. Oh no, this is Apple making a massive, massive bet. Just look at that number, 5.5 millimeters. Let that sink in for a second. If this is true, the iPhone 17 Air will be the thinnest iPhone ever made. I mean, that's an incredible feat of engineering, for sure. But, and this is a big but, it comes with some serious compromises. And this quote from Reddit just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the debate, right? For years, people have been saying they'd be happy with a thicker phone if it meant a giant battery. So it makes you wonder, is Apple chasing a design goal that a lot of its customers don't even want anymore? And here's that trade-off in black and white. The Air is rumored to have a battery around 2,800 milliamp hours. Now compare that to the Pro Max, which could be pushing 5,000, the biggest battery ever in an iPhone. That's a gigantic difference in how long your phone will last, all for the sake of being a few millimeters thinner. So what's Apple's solution to this problem? A problem they kind of created themselves? Well, they're going to sell you the fix. For the first time in years, since the iPhone 6s days, Apple is reportedly planning to have a dedicated battery case ready on launch day, just for the Air. It almost feels like they know the phone by itself isn't going to be enough for a lot of people. All right, let's pivot away from thinness and battery life to something everyone can get excited about, the cameras. Because this is shaping up to be one of the biggest leaps in iPhone photography we've seen in a long time. And it's not just for the expensive models. This is a big one. The front-facing selfie camera is finally getting a huge upgrade, jumping from 12 megapixels all the way up to 24. And the best part? This isn't some premium feature. According to the analysts, this is coming to every single iPhone 17. Your FaceTime calls and selfies are about to get a whole lot sharper. Now, around back, the camera story is a bit different for each model. The standard iPhone 17 will probably stick with 2 lenses.
The super thin Air, well, in its quest to be thin, it's rumored to have just a single but very high-quality 48-megapixel main camera. And the Pro models? They're going absolutely nuts. We're talking a triple lens system where all three cameras, the main, the ultra-wide, and the telephoto, are all 48 megapixels. That's just wild. So, new designs, better chips, this wild new Air model, and upgraded cameras across the board. This all leads to that one final crucial question: how much is all of this going to cost us? You might want to brace yourselves. The current thinking from analysts is that we could see a $50 price hike across the entire lineup. That means the standard iPhone 17 could start around $849 and the top-tier Pro Max at $1249. So, yeah, progress definitely has a price tag. And that really brings us to the final thought here. The iPhone 17 is all about choices. The choice between that super thin design and all-day battery life, the choice between a good camera and a truly professional one, and ultimately the choice of how much you're willing to pay for it all. So you have to ask yourself, is Apple building the future that you want, or the one that just makes the most sense for their strategy? I guess we'll all find out for sure this September.